Good morning, everyone. Brian here with BMK Retro Gaming. This morning I have for us a review of the Atari VCS 2600 prototype game, Arkyology. Now, well, it's going to be in the title anyway, so you guys will know how to spell it, but that's spelled with, like this. Arkyology. It's, well, let's go over the basics first. It was under development in 1983 with Paul Walters, George Hefner working as the programming developers on it, and with Barb Ultis, that's Ultis, doing graphics. And they were developing this one for Intertech Ltd. For Sparrow Records. Intertech Ltd. was developing it on behalf of Sparrow Records. And it was It was back in 1983. Basically, what it is it's a religious theme type of game. We all may have heard of and know something about, the later ones, like by Wisdom Tree and all. As a matter of fact, I personally own a copy of the Sega Genesis port of Spiritual Warfare. It's not a terrible game. It's based on the Nintendo NES Legend of Zelda's engine and all, and has a similar layout. It would be very similar to anybody familiar with the Legend of Zelda. Basically, in this one, what you are Noah on his Ark after it is launched. And, well, you've gotten some animals who have gotten fed up with being on this Ark as a long cruise, and they're starting to misbehave and become a hazard. Meanwhile, it's basically time, Noah's apparently you're going through a task where the game has two levels to it. First one is you're going around trying to do what you have to do to get doors open, apparently stall doors. Then once you pass that level, you have to feed animals in the stalls of the doors you've opened. Then, of course, the game turns around and repeats on a higher difficulty with the same two things. So it's a very cute and fun little game. I've actually enjoyed it some. It's considered notorious for being pretty difficult where it was back then, but I just spent, before getting this going again, I'd fooled with it some before, about 20 minutes to see if I could pass level 1 and get into level 2. Hardly took me 10 minutes, and I had it figured out and was able to get from level 1 to level 2, so maybe considered pretty difficult for its time, and it is in a way, but, and it certainly gets tougher, but as it goes, I think it's actually pretty even in a way. So there are some things you have to learn how to do correctly on it. Anyway, don't want to spend a whole long time talking about that. I've got a digital download of the game ROM for my Hyperkin Retron 77 emulation hardware clone console. So I'm going to go ahead and fire that up, and we're going to take a look at the gameplay. Okay, so here we go with gameplay for Atari VCS 2600 prototype game from 1983, Arkyology. Make sure my controls are in working order here. Not quite. Okay, there we go. Now they're working. Okay, here we can see it's Sparrow. Would have been from Sparrow, since that's who it was being done for. See, Intertech. It says down there, Paul Walters, Rick Harris, George Hefner, and Barbara Ultis. Rick Harris. Why did I not put that one? I must have missed writing that one down, or maybe it wasn't with what I was looking at. Says the ROM must be started in bank 0. And it's also a type F8 or an AK Atari cartridge. So this one was a bit more advanced than your standard 4K. Anyway, let's check into it. This is day 1. Okay, in this you are... It looks and sounds pretty good for the most part, except kind of with Noah. He's bald and looks like he might as well be more of a superhero type in a way, so... Little explanation here is, that thing up top is a porcupine. It's dropping quills down, trying to stop you. The green thing that runs across the floor occasionally is either a gator, alligator, or a crocodile. I forget which one it's supposed to be. And what you're doing as Noah is you are trying to grab these apparent hammers or mallets to open all of these stall doors so you can feed the animals in level 2. It can be a bit tricky. Fortunately, the porcupine, he's kind of random. Didn't mean to have that happen. There's the bird. That was a bird, which also flies through, sometimes. Fortunately, the bird and gator or croc pretty much always are traveling the same direction, or from the same direction usually, though not always. They do switch it around on occasion. That was not fair. It hadn't been around letters. Okay, resetting. Sometimes they'll do that too, where the porcupine will put those what he's dropping are quills, and they will sometimes come down right on a ladder pathway, so. One of the things about having to grab these hammer mallet things is that you have to kind of line up where Noah's fist is going to be just right directly with them in order to actually get one, so it can be a bit tricky. Anyway, typically the bird and alligator will be aligned going the same direction on average, but as we've seen, sometimes they'll switch it around too. And that porcupine can get pretty aggressive on dropping those quills once in a while. I mean, it does sound pretty nice, like many other Atari VCS 2600 original library games would have. Doesn't have terrible sound effects or anything. Reset one more time. It sounds pretty okay. It's very colorful and all, but as we can see, it's a bit difficult. Except with those grabbing the hammers and mallets, you have to line up just about right with where his fist is going to be, or you'll miss. Oh, I'm not going to take that. No way. That was just too much of a cheap shot on that one. Anyway, there's another thing that makes it a little bit difficult, which is when you're getting to a point where you're on a level again from a ladder to get off, you literally have to move the joystick diagonally down, left or right, whichever way you're trying to get off. And really, and you can duck too, without a manual to tell you that you need to do that, it'd be something that you might have a tough time trying to figure out. Because it's not one of those things that's readily apparent information to me. I read about it where I looked up some more information on this one, is how I found out. Almost there, one to go. I don't think so. Okay, now it's day 1. This is the feed the animal stage. Here we've got a lot of dadgum. Okay, and I died on last life, so now I'm going to have to do that again? Screw you. That was just... Screw you, Porcupine. That was too cheap. No. Resetting again. Anyway, yeah, I can see where it was accused of being rather difficult of a game to play, and it shows. Oh boy. At least he didn't nail me that time. Good thing I stopped. Forgive me if I sound a little bit stuffy. My seasonal allergies have been kicking in, and I've been congested like a... pretty congested. Ooh, that was close. Darn it. I always hate to die on the first level of things, but sometimes you can't help it. And especially since the second one here is where it gets fairly interesting. Okay, I think 2 lives left. I think it gives you like 3, so... Darn it. Okay, that's just... Try again. Fortunately, I have quite a bit of time for this one. Not infinity, though. Or eternity, I mean. And I don't have infinite time for it either. There's infinite time for anything, really. No. We'll restart one more time. Again, I can see where this game was accused of being rather difficult. I mean, I don't find it to be that bad, but you do have to get used to what you have to do and get into a rhythm of doing it to get it accomplished, so... No, resetting again. Not going to losing the life on the first level thing this time because, well, among other things, there are good reasons to avoid it this time. Damn it! Forgive my bit of profanity, but yeah, this is getting a bit frustrating. Oh! Mr. Porcupine, just be glad I can't come all the way up there. You'd be one dead porcupine. The species would have to end there. No! I'm doing that crap. Wait, that's on 3 levels? What in the... Reset again. come on. I'm not going to do this all day, you stupid thing. No. Okay, there we go. Now we're on the second day, day 1, feed the animals. Okay, that is, I believe, a camel. This is the fun part about this one, is that you have to feed the animals, and what you do is you jump up to where they are, which when you do that, you're supposed to be giving them food, though it kind of looks more like you're punching them. I had more than one life, you stupid game. Oh well, give it one more go, see if I can get to let me have a little bit more than that on it. And besides these guys, you actually have a pretty good variety of animals that you get to look at on level 2, so it gets pretty interesting. Damn you. You know, I'm going to do this that way and reset from beginning. Sure my controls are still working right? No, they are not. Why'd that just... whatever. Okay, here we go. As far as I know, changing the skill level doesn't change much with this one, but, could. Change a bit anyway for you. Yeah, so this one is pretty difficult as advertised. I didn't find it to, and I still don't find it to be as bad as it could have been, but there is some difficulty to the way this one plays, so... I would not discount how difficult it claims to be, because it is, for certain, no cakewalk. Oh, gosh. Okay, I'm not going to do it like that all over again. Reset, make sure the controls work, and we're going to try to get there without all that stupidity. Okay, yeah, still working right. Gotta be freaking kidding me. Okay, still got a little extra time left, so we'll try this one more time from scratch before I'm finally done with it. So yeah, I can actually see where this would have been an interesting game. As with games which are religious or Christian themed in this case, they're typically supposed to be family friendly, wholesome, Well, being a little bit, still have enough action and being interesting enough that maybe you might get more interested in reading scripture or something after, or finding out more about the story if you don't know it yet, which I can't. It's all about trying to spread a positive message, which I can't blame anyone for. Though, whether the story of Noah, among others, this one in particular, whether it would have been feasible, practical, and actually, something that could have been done or not is a matter of debate. There are some things which say you probably might not be able to save the world and repopulate it quite this way. Though there's a chance it could have happened too and been perfectly fine. Who knows? I don't. I just don't discount the fact that it's a story where when you really look at it, there's a lot that would have had to really come together just right for it to all work, so. I'd say it's one of those where a little bit of healthy skepticism is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, a person with a working brain should probably realize that it's a fantastical enough story that it does take quite a leap of faith to take seriously, but then again, even, pastors and all, a lot of them will tell you, the Bible wasn't necessarily meant to be taken 100% literally or 100% factually, in regards to its historical context and all, so. It's about beliefs and morals. To convey all that, the stories don't have to all be 100% accurate and true, necessarily. But it still attempts to spread a good, positive message, which, that I can't blame anyone for doing, and video games were a medium that it would have made sense to at least try to do that, so. After all, you got kids playing this game, and they got interested in the story of Noah, well, they've probably been interested in other biblical stories as well, so. Hey, one thing I can give the Bible is, it is one of the greatest stories really ever told. I mean, it's quite an epic. They have things in the Bible that, Hollywood and TV writers have even decided to adapt over time because it's just that good. This was an epic well before we had the modern day ones, so. You have got to be kidding me. Okay, day one, feed the animals. I guess it's supposed to be some type of bird. Not sure. Here, elephant. Looks like a lion or something. Maybe a giraffe? Probably. Not sure about that one. One more shot. One thing I'll note is, while I was talking earlier, is I've gotten to level 2 before not all the way past it. Rhinoceros, because this is one of the other things that makes this game like it would have been more. I think that's supposed to be a bear, though I'm not sure. You get a wide, they're just, window, images, not sure. Saber-toothed tiger? I don't know. Camel. Not sure about that one either. Antelope or something? I don't know. stand to reason that those days would have been very, very hectic. Okay, that's about as far as I can get on level 2 of that part. But anyway, it looks like I almost got to the last one and cleared it. I think you guys had pretty well have the idea of the gameplay by now. Okay, so that was Noah's Ark. Arkyology. A 1983 game that would have been by Sparrow Records and done by Intertech Ltd. Atari VCS 2600 prototype from 1983. Is it pretty good? Well, as said, the difficulty is pretty high. You can take quite a few tries to get to that level 2 and anywhere into it. And there are a few things you have to learn how to do right to do anything at all with it, but it's actually pretty decent. And also, once you get to level 2 and all the variety of different animals that you can see, that was pretty cool for the Atari VCS 2600. And again, being religious themed, especially Christian religious, it's still trying to convey something that's supposed to be a positive message, so I don't see anything wrong with that. Like I said, I've had some other things like my physical cartridge copy of Spiritual Warfare for the Sega Genesis. It's an okay, interesting game. Maybe not the world's greatest game, but it's something different, pretty fun. So yeah, this one would have been pretty fun. Now, why didn't it get released? Well, there was a 1983 North American market and industry crash for the video games, so that probably might have played a factor, and because I really didn't find out what the given reason is supposed to have been. I guess they can give one. But also the fact that it is pretty difficult might have been one of those things that kind of put a damper on moving it forward, too. Though since it was being developed, independently, obviously a third-party developer and publisher here, they probably would have gone through with it. So I'm guessing maybe the North American industry market crash thing probably had the biggest factor to play there. Anyway, I do have a recommendation link for you from my preferred YouTubers, just one. Greg Dead Games. He plays the game and does pretty okay with it. It's a little over 40 minutes, if I recall right, so it's a bit to watch, but he's always pretty good at these things, so. And believe me, the games he's not so good at, he doesn't bother to play for very long. Anyway, also I have, for those interested in reading up on the game further, I'm going to leave a link to the little article on this one at AtariProtos.com. And for those who may be interested in getting a digital download of the game ROM, I'll leave a link to where that is at AtariMania.com. Now, there was some talk on the Atari Age forums back around circa 2009 that there may be publisher may be working with some to get a physical release of this one done, since it was actually, this is technically a completed prototype game. It's not incomplete. Another reason why it seems weird that they didn't release it. But anyway, I kept researching and looking, and I couldn't find out whether or not there actually was or wasn't a physical release sometime after that point. But, as it goes, I couldn't find any evidence that it was actually physically released. So maybe the closest way to get to play it and check out, if for those who may want to, would be that digital download of the game ROM at AtariMania.com. So I'm going to leave a recommendation link to that one so you guys can go ahead and pick that up if you would like. As far as I know, it's a free download. You don't have to pay for it. Anyway, go ahead and keep your eyes peeled on my channel's content with both my YouTube and if you follow me on Facebook or Twitter, those feeds, for what next Wednesday's Atari 7800 original library review is going to be. I already have it picked out, and I'll be announcing it later this morning. Big shout out to my Atari 2600 Facebook group. Love you guys over there, and hopefully you'll be getting this before too long, though it's been a bit overcast, so it might take a little longer than not. In the meantime, if you enjoy this channel's content, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and please don't hesitate to leave any questions, comments, or suggestions down in the comment section below. You guys take care, have a wonderful Sunday, and hopefully I will see everyone back here again this coming Wednesday.